Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley, and this is our coverage of Loopfest. You may remember we spoke to Jimmy, the organiser, a few weeks ago while he was still planning. Me and Verity really enjoyed speaking to him about how this event was put together. And you may also remember during that interview, I said, I was going to go to every single event, or I'm going to set up at the castle, or there were so many different ideas I wanted to implement to try and cover this event in the best way I could. Alas, when I got to the event, I didn't realise how heavy underfoot it was going to be with all my equipment, and how hard it was going to be when you take into account things like weather and people. And so we didn't get as much coverage as we wanted to. Nonetheless, we had a great time. I got some great interviews that you're about to hear. I bumped into some great friends that it was great to bump into, especially as soon as they really did save my butt. So a huge thank you to Derek, Caitlin, Tracy, and to Neville, who took me under their wing, looked after me. I think they could realise I was struggling. I think as soon as we got to the Bull's Head, there was a realisation as maybe I didn't think this right through, because I just had loads and loads of equipment with me. It just didn't fit with the venues, with lots and lots of people. Have you ever gone to a nightclub with a rucksack on your back? I have once. It was a very awkward situation. I've done loads of things actually with a biscuit. It's just never comfortable. So thank you to those guys. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are two pubs with very similar sounding names. There's the Bull in Butcher Row, and there's the Bull's Head, which is just up from the train station. I didn't want to go to the Bull, and that's simply not because of any other reason than I wasn't in that part of town well, when I was recording. See, the Bull in Butcher Row had music playing as well as the Bull's Head, and all the way through this episode, for some reason, I was like, I'm at the Bull. It's not true. So if you hear me mention the fact that I was in the Bull, it's wrong. I was in the Bull's Head. Although the Bull sounded like it had some great things going for it too, because we had some great compliments about what they were doing too. So in fact, all the venues that took part in Loopfest, it sounds like they all had a fantastic night. So we're going to go into this, and I hope I will catch you at the end. Because I got some post-event interviews with Jimmy at the end. So I'll catch you then, guys. Here is our coverage of Loopfest. Take it away. Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm coming to you today from the Castle in Shrewsbury, and as you can hear, there's music in the background. I don't own any of the rights to this. Today we're at Loopfest. I've set up on the grounds next to the stage, hoping to get a bit of a chat with some of the bands that are coming off stage. It's going to be a very busy day, I think. As I am looking around the castle grounds now, there's a few hundred people sat on the grass. There's food stalls, there's a bar here, and this is just one of the 25 venues that's taking part today. I'm going to stay here for a bit, then I'm going to move on to another venue. I'm going to speak to people as well. I want to speak to organisers, I want to speak to bystanders, people that are enjoying the show, maybe some of the photographers as well that are taking it all in. We're here to just sample the atmosphere and you just sort of document this event. There are music lovers all across Shrewsbury today, and don't forget, last year this event created a record for footfall in Shrewsbury. So let's see what it does this year. Either way, good vibes, what looks like there's going to be great music, and we should get some great content today. So fingers crossed everything goes well. And if you were at Loopfest and you're listening to this now, I'd love to hear what you thought about it. Did you have a great time? Did you see a band that you hadn't seen for a long time, or you've been dying to see? I'd love to hear what you think. So on the comments section, wherever you are listening to this podcast, make sure that you drop a comment just to let us know what you thought. We may grab Jamie, the organizer, we may not. Whenever I come to events like this over the last few years, I speak to the event organizer, and they're usually here, there, they're everywhere. They're trying to deal with 3 things at the same time, so they're not in the headspace for me to come and shove my microphone in their face. We'll see. But this looks like it's going to be a fantastic event. Lots of great audio. I may sample some music and drop it in as well. I'll get permissions off the band too. Any of the bands that we speak to today, I'll drop a link of their social media so you guys can follow them. And so yeah, let's go find some people to speak to. Brilliant.
I said my thank yous, I said my goodbyes. I've really done it this time. I should have known better, but it's just a matter of time. Control! Oh! And I feel the same.
Okay, so I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Ben and I'm from a band called Manor Heights.
I've got recorded a bit of your set. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Because okay, so we need to talk about the Haygate song first, because that's what I'm from. I sort of lived in Telford for a bit. Yeah. That was the place to go and listen to alternative music and have a few beers. Mm-hmm. Where did that song come? I mean, I know it comes from the heart and the soul. But
well, Daryl, our guitarist, Daryl spent a lot of time in the Haygate. He's actually the guitarist with Envy of the State, formerly New Breed. You know, they were the kings of the Haygate back in the day.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Daryl used to live like 4 doors away and get into all trouble. So all those lyrics in that song, they're true stories, they're true people. It's where
the zombies. I love that.
Yeah, the imagery's brilliant.
Yeah,
but the main imagery from that is obviously Envy of the State used to do the Devil's Ball, which is actually coming back this year in the Firefly in Oakengate. So they're doing the Devil's Ball number 36 or whatever it is. They've been doing it a long time. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not supposed to be here to promote sort of Shrewsbury and what's going on in Shrewsbury, and Loopfest is great. We'll get onto that in a second. But I feel like Telford's been making a real great push in the right direction for family events, for music, like Trademark Blood as well. Big shout out to him for really pushing.
Yeah, we love Trademark and what he does, man.
Yeah. So. What do you think of Loopfest?
Loopfest is fantastic. Obviously, we've been confined to the castle stage, and the rain started right the way through our set, but most of the people stayed.
They all see what happened. Everybody moved to the tree line, but nobody left.
Yeah, everybody forgetting to not duck under a tree during a thunderstorm. But hey, what are we going to do? So everybody seems to have had a good time. Big up to Jamie and the guys at Albert Shed for everything they do. Loopfest is fantastic. So just tell your listeners that without the donations from people, that they wouldn't be here next year. So please donate everything they can, from £1 to £10. There's various posters around the town with QR codes on it. So let's keep music alive.
Absolutely. Scar as well as a music, lots of energy. It was raining, but I feel like you guys really did. You gave us energy that we needed, I think, during the rain.
Yeah, well, Scar does that. I mean, obviously, the members of Manor Heights are all in another band called Starburst. So we've got a lot of energy. If anybody that's been and seen us knows exactly what we're all about. So
can I ask you which the best Scar band in the world are? What do you reckon? It was out too hard.
There's a lot of influential. Some of the early Two Sound stuff. So I've got to go with the Specials just for what they did.
See, me personally, because of what they did for me going through school and stuff, Goldfinger for me.
Yeah, Goldfinger great. I mean, the third wave of Ska is now the pop punk stuff.
Yeah, of course.
The punk ska stuff. We do a lot of stuff like that too. But for me, it's the two-tone era. It's bringing racial equality. And all the rest of it that the guys, the pioneers in the early 80s and the late 70s did. So it's rules to live your life by, man.
Amazing. This is going to go out in a week or so. Where can people listen to it? Are you playing anywhere?
So we're playing a little festival called Now Then Festival in Nottingham next week, I believe. But if you go on the Manor Heights Facebook page, everything's on there. And if everybody's listening, please go and give the Starburst page a like as well, because if you like to see, jumpy ska music while Manor Heights are recording and stuff, because our 5-track EP is going to be released later in the year on all the major streaming sites.
How many of you are there?
So there's 5 of us in Manor Heights, there's 6 of us in Starburst. So big up to LJ. He left at the very beginning, but we don't hold it against him.
We've all been there. I've got 6. I was thinking when your EP's about to come out, I should invite you guys round. We can have a couple of beers, get a podcast on the go. But I've got 6 microphone ports So we'll have to be creative
Well,
somehow.
it's all right.
Share some microphones,
There's 5 of us. One of you. We can make it work. I mean, we've all been known to share microphones in the past.
Yeah, get in there, get close and personal.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Where can people follow you on social
worries,
media?
man. No problem at all.
Where's your social media?
So Facebook. For
Manor
Heights.
Manor Heights, sorry,
and
Manor House.
Starburst, yeah. So, but if you go over to Spotify at the minute, Apple Music, and type in "Payday" by Manor Heights, you can get a feel for what we do.
Is the Haygate song on Spotify?
Not yet, we will be.
Get on Spotify now! I need
it's literally the first time we've ever played it, man.
Wow,
Very first time.
I need it in my life. Thank you so much for chatting to me today.
Thanks for that.
Cheers. You all right? So, yeah, I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi Alex, I'm David Gregg. I am kind of one of the organisers of Loopfest, and for my day job I run Albert's Shed in Shrewsbury and Telford.
One of the one of the most important spots for music, I feel, for Shrewsbury. Independent local music.
That's very kind of you to say so. I'd like to think so. That's certainly our aim, is to kind of champion grassroots live music.
I was going to say there are other venues available.
Absolutely, but they're not as good. No, we do really strive to to support emerging artists, younger artists, and really, I suppose, without wanting to sound too arrogant, kind of entertain and also educate a little bit. I think there's no point in listening to the same old covers again and again and again, and unless these guys have got an opportunity to kind of play their stuff out, it probably isn't gonna get to an audience via radio, etc. Unfortunately.
And it needs to. I mean, we're getting a lot of Taylor Swift and a lot of lovey-dovey stuff, which is great. It has its place in life, but I feel like alternative music is kind of losing the battle a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think it's alternative per se. I think it's just anything that isn't already tried and tested and played in arenas. And there's a huge gap between grassroots music venues, whether that be a bar or a pub or what we do, which is probably something a little bit bigger, but certainly a million miles away from the arena tours. And if you compare what happens in say football, where you've got grassroots football which is supported quite significantly by the Premier League clubs, what you find is there's no real similar situation with music. So to get from grassroots music to kind of, as I say, these arenas, there's a massive gap in between, and what should be happening is, there's a lot of money spent, people going to Glastonbury, going to these huge, arena tours, and some of that money needs to come back down and trickle down to the venues where a lot of those guys actually first started out.
Absolutely true, and we were just talking about the re-emergence of ska again and again and again.
Well, ska, first wave, second wave, third wave.
Exactly, but there's kids out here that might be like, oh, I really like that sound, and they might be the new emergence of ska. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of inspiration you need to push.
And music genres, I don't like kind of putting labels on things. If you like it, you like it, and I think all music kind of draws on lots of different influences, and that's the way it should be. It should be a melting pot. It shouldn't be generic. It shouldn't be auto-tuned rubbish.
Everybody should be Rivers Cuomo. Just do what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if it works, it works. But if these guys aren't given the opportunity to kind of play that material out, they're not going to know whether it works or not, and they're probably just going to give up and play Wonderwall forever. Which, okay, it's a good song, but we use it quite ironically. It's like, play Wonderwall, and it kind of represents everything that's kind of wrong with artists being forced to play stuff which they think is more commercial. Venues will only book artists that will play covers, so the artists then say, well, let's play the covers because we'll get booked, and it's a vicious circle.
Yeah,
we need to break it.
We were interviewing Chasing Mallory a few months ago, and they were like this battle between doing covers and doing their own things. She's got to go out there and do this band up here has got they're still fetuses. They're children. They're amazing. I love that.
And you take Manor Heights, which were the band that were on stage just 10 minutes ago. They're also, majority of those members are also Starburst, which is an excellent ska covers band, local band, all good and well. Great to see those guys up as Manor Heights and actually playing the stuff that they've written.
That song about the Haygate, I loved it. That was like where I used to live when I was
local reference. Bands like Manor Heights and Savannah, proper local Telford bands, and we like to think that we've given those bands. It's not that there wasn't anywhere for them to play before, but we've kind of opened it up a little bit and hopefully encouraged other. We're primarily music. You know, that's what we do. The bar comes second. We do a bit of food in Telford, that very much third. You know, a lot of the other places that do music are pubs first and foremost, which is great. But we like to think that, you know, we put the music front and centre and everything else complements it.
Well, I had this grand idea. I've got a camera, I've got microphones and stuff. I wanted to become like the Zane Lowe of Shrewsbury and just set up at Albert Sheds, speak to a band, play a bit of their set, speak to the band, play a bit of their set. That's pretty much what they used to do on MTV2. I mean, we could do that locally, right?
That's a good idea, yeah. I mean, it's something that Jamie Smith and myself, otherwise known as Jimmy Kebab.
Jimmy Kebab.
Jimmy Kebab, because of Catch It Kebab, so if you know your ska punk...
He's coming up right now, look.
Yeah, the chaos arrives. I'll see if I can grab his attention if he comes anywhere near, but Jimmy Kebab, the name comes from Catch It Kebabs, which was his original ska punk band before it metamorphosised into Mighty Vipers. You can catch it at Albert Shed tonight, by the way.
How is the chaos, by the way? Is it all going okay? Loop Festival?
Yeah, you just crack on with it, don't you? You know, it's we're both lucky enough to have ADHD, so doing 100 things at once just comes natural.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Just add, give me more. And I got to say, Manor Heights played through the rain here, and they really did give us a lot of energy, which is really nice to see.
But going back to what you say, Zane Lowe style interviewing artists, and that's the kind of stuff that we want to do. It's not just about putting bands on the weekend. We like to interview them, we like to support them. But it's like everything, it's time and priorities, and really, really great to talk to you about some of those projects. You know.
Well, we'll have to get ready together and have a pint then, won't we? But I know you're busy. I know you've got to run from like one of these venues to another 24 different venues. But thank you so much for doing this and giving local musicians the chance to play and young people in the crowd the chance to be inspired as well by music.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're not for profit. We're all about championing the music and putting any money that we make, hopefully to break even this year and put it back into hopefully doing it even bigger and better next year. You know, that's what we're about. We're not about putting a big event on in the quarry and coming away as millionaires.
Well, we'll be there to support you. Thank you so much for chatting to me today.
Cheers, mate.
Okay, so I've hit record. I haven't got no headphones in, but hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, Caitlin, are you enjoying yourself as well?
I'm really enjoying myself. How about you, Derek?
It sounds like a weirdly placed 1950s advert in the middle of a...
I'm not as old as you, so I don't remember the 1950s.
But do you know what I mean? When they're like, I really enjoy a cup of Loopfest, do you?
Yeah, we've had a cup of stuff, but not Loopfest. Amazing that this is put on for free at a time when we really need to be promoting live events, so people need to be coming out and seeing live music and keeping it live.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been watching Manor Heights. We're singing about things like the Haygate in Wellington, and you know that's really important. It's like local folklore. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but also, you're not old enough to remember ska, but ska was when music really started.
Hey, man, there was a resurgence. I like Goldfinger, man. That's ska, technically ska. Yeah.
Well, Nev and I lived through it.
Manor Heights in Telford is where I recorded my first demo tape with my band, the Geek Eyes, in 1987.
Ah, right, so that's why they call Manor Heights? Huh?
No, that's why... Yes, I think it probably is. It's a place in Telford, isn't it?
Like a tribute.
Yeah.
To Nev.
No, not
to
me.
To you?
No.
To Nev.
Maybe it is a tribute to me.
Nev is a Shropshire legend. So.
He is. Coming on my show tomorrow. He's coming around.
Is he?
He is, yeah.
And you didn't invite me?
It's the comedy festival.
Oh, right, yeah. My life's a comedy festival.
Plug that
so
again. What was that?
It's Shrewsbury International Comedy Festival from the 13th to the 16th of July.
Is that next week now?
That's next
Yes,
weekend.
it is, yes.
Next
So you
weekend.
better book
Yay.
tickets really quickly for the comedy festival.
And Al and I are talking to JJ Whitehead, who's appearing next week.
If that's not a 1950s advert, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
He's Canadian and he lives in Los Angeles.
He's flown in from Los Angeles
And
just
he's
to come on a
coming to
Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Shrewsbury, yeah.
And then maybe come to the comedy festival. I don't know,
Yeah.
I
maybe.
think JJ was born in Manor Heights.
In Telford.
Do you know that there is probably a tenuous connection there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll go to the ball now.
How many degrees do you have to move before, you're all connected?
Well, there's that game, the Kevin Bacon game, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you're related to Kevin Bacon in some way.
the bullhead, actually? Well, I am an EE customer, so...
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, we love the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. It's great. We listen to it all the time.
Do you actually listen to it?
Yes.
Oh.
I've been on it. Do you remember?
I know you have.
I was stunning. I was
Yeah.
your best guest ever.
Yeah, you were. You've been
So
on it.
good. You've never asked me back.
You've technically been on it twice.
Technically.
Yeah, because I got you before art and then during art
And after art.
and after art.
Anyway. I really love Loopfest.
Because young musicians, such as I Don't Believe Anymore, are being featured and they're really good.
Yeah.
I can see them having a future in the music industry, and I think there's a lot of talented people who deserve to have a platform, and Loopfest is providing that.
Well, we were just talking about that actually. We were talking about how, like, I mean, we got the Taylor Swifts and the Biebers of the world, but they've got their own place. But where are the bands? Where's like the Blondie and the rock bands?
Like it feels like nowadays it's just one singular person. But I was raised with Derek, so
Mr. Scarman.
Mr. Starman. No, I'm not David Bowie. How dare you?
Not Mr. Star, Mr. Scar.
Scarman. I thought you said I was Starman.
Yeah.
Mr. Scarman.
But it's good to offer something alternative to.
Yeah, like raised with a lot of bands. Like I was raised with Madness and Blondie, and then like coming back to Shrewsbury and having a lot of bands when it's just been solo people has been really, really nice. And having it for free is great, especially on a student budget. So.
There you go, guys. It's really important because
student approved. So
and it's a huge event as well. I mean, it's lots of logistical.
There is actually, and I just bumped into Jamie and I said, you need to do it for 2 days next year.
Did you get a coherent sentence out of him?
He said something about yes, possibly, but one band I've seen already called the Bowmen, and they were
nice.
Fantastic.
Cheers, guys. Have a great day. Thank you. Hi. All right. Well, this interview got cut off short. To be continued.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Okay, so we've come to the ball now. I'm sorry for those gentlemen swearing. I'll bleep it out anyway, but it's always hilarious when you're walking around with a microphone and someone shouts F off down the microphone. But Neville and Derek, great advocates for not just music, but performing arts and all things that shake and dance and move and sing here in Shrewsbury. They're very impressed with Loopfest, and so am I. The artists that are on now, we're going to grab them afterwards. I was going to speak to the young band at the castle, but the rain was threatening again. I'm on a time budget. I'll be home by a certain time, my wife says so. So I'm going to find the next nearest interview, and that's here, I believe, at the ball. So let's find someone to speak to, shall we? I'm just going to make a note, a great audio note, that I'm really good at operating this microphone whilst holding a pint. This pub is absolutely packed to the rim, but I can barely move. In fact, I'm getting manhandled every 2 minutes, which is alright, to be fair. I don't mind. In exchange for a bit of good music, that's not too bad. This is fantastic, though. I mean, this pub is absolutely jam-packed. We're going to go to Salopian next, I believe, so we'll see what that looks like. Right, so we're still on the Bull's Head. I hope you can hear me. And I found Derek Willis and Nev as well, still here. Are you guys enjoying your night?
Yeah, it's great afternoon so far. Looking forward to...
Where this guy passed, we are standing in the alleyway of the toilets, so when somebody comes past, we have to like, pause. You having a great afternoon so far?
Say that again.
So you're having a great afternoon so far?
Yeah, really good. It's just amazing. We're like in a really hot, sweaty pub at the moment. Listen to a band that kind of takes me back to kind of like the early 80s, and then when we go and see somebody later, it'll be completely different again. So it's a great kind of variation in music, fantastic.
What I really like about this is, there's a lady coming past now, is everybody's hot and sweaty, and everybody's in each other's orifices because there's no space, but nobody cares. We're having a good time, right?
Oh yeah, I'm having a really good time. Like, this is reminding me of Newcastle, like being like, oh sorry, like can I go? And it's great, like a community feel almost. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, we are right in the middle of it. I mean, I chucked my equipment underneath someone's table, right by their legs, and just apologise. I didn't even apologise. I was like, this is where my equipment lives now, because there's nowhere else to put it. It's great. Just to remind you that you do actually owe me a pint. I just wanted to get that in there. I do owe you a pint. Well, you definitely owe me a pint. But amazing atmosphere. It's just
Yeah, Nev's told me about the 80s, and it does feel like that it's 80s. But this is like being in my student days of just being stuck in a pub. So I'm reliving my youth by kind of doing all this.
I think it's great. And the music behind us as well, this is completely different to the music I heard at the Castle. It's different. I mean, as I was walking from the Castle, they were playing Green Day, which again is a different type of music. So they're really offering like a real array of different types of musicians.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the band I saw earlier on, ironically, actually, this band now, National Milk Bar, and then Manor Heights, that we saw in the Castle. This is like, they're both kind of late 70s, early 80s, kind of like, this is kind of synthy kind of stuff, and they were kind of ska. Then the band I saw in Albert Shed were kind of touching on a bit kind of the Editors and Joy Division a little bit. So it's all kind of encapsulated, but it's a nice mixture. It's really, really good, man, you know. And there's more to come.
Yeah, there's more to come. And this is a message to Jamie and to the guys that have organised this. I think I'm looking around the room, everybody's feeling this. There's nobody here that's feeling miserable right now.
And you know, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? People have made themselves through YouTube or through social media. Actually, there is nothing that beats being in the same room as the band and actually being with a whole group of people who are experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, like, I definitely feel post-COVID, like, there's just been such a lack of coming together, coming to concerts, like open gigs, and to actually like experience music the way it's supposed to be heard, the way it's supposed to be felt. Like, this is what music and clubbing and going to concerts is supposed to be. Like, this is how it should be, like, all together. Like, yeah.
You mentioned COVID, and it's seen situations like this that made me realise, well, actually, maybe they had a point, like with the social distancing, because we're a bit gross, aren't we, right now? It's both brilliant. It's both brilliant and, like, you know, you can say you can't see it.
I think that's another thing, like, you associate with music, like being like close, like especially in concerts. Like, the idea is we love this same musician, we're here for a reason, let's just be sweaty and be together. Like, that's the pinnacle of like concert experience, really.
Could have said it better myself. Brilliant.
Massive shout out to Jamie Smith for Loopfest. He's done an amazing job, and you know, you need massive respect, because it's not an easy thing to do, to arrange a day's worth of music with 125 bands in 25 venues. I mean, man alive, that's just amazing, fantastic. Well played him.
His figures are just incredible to hear. But I tried to have a chat with Jamie just, and he was putting up a gazebo.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, I'll leave you for a few minutes, I think.
When you're a promoter, you get kind of bogged down by the minutiae of stuff, you know, because you feel like you need to do everything, but you don't need to do anything at all, because what you've done has been set up. Go and chat to the band.
Amazing, I'm going to do that now. Thank you so much for chatting to me, guys. You've been great today, you really have. So I've got to introduce myself. I'm Alex from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Okay. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Sash from National Milk Bar.
And I'm Chuz, also from National Milk Bar, funny enough, who's lost his voice now.
An incredibly small venue that you've got crammed like sardines. How does that feel? You've got these people and nobody's like sad about it, everybody's happy.
It feels amazing, to be fair. It's a real privilege to play this festival. I think everyone who's had any part of organising it has done absolutely brilliant. Jamie's been brilliant. It's a cracking little venue, to be fair. Small but perfect, that's what I'd say.
Well, it sounded fantastic. I recorded one song in particular because I feel like you sounded massive. You sounded massive.
Really? Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Massive. We're happy with massive. Yeah.
So, how long have you guys been performing?
Since we're a lockdown baby, really. We started out then. We're both in a ska band called Cartoon Violence, who sadly can't play because my son, who plays the bass, is sore in his hand. which is rather silly. But so we can't play tonight. But so that's why we did a few Casting Violence songs today. And what was the question again?
How long you been playing together? You know?
Oh yeah, since about 2020, I suppose. Yeah, basically we started doing stuff at home with a laptop because we couldn't get out or anything. So and that's how it started really. All synths and stuff is quite easy to do. You don't need a band to get together. So yeah.
I went and had a baby in between that as well, so we've not done that many
Bravo
stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we've not done too much live, but yeah, we've done a lot at home.
And as an event, Loop Festival, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, I know you've lost your voice probably, and you guys are trying to set up. I'm really sorry. Where can people follow you on social media?
You can follow us on Facebook, National Milk Bar. Yes. Spotify, we're on Spotify, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, Nat Milk Bar. Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, well, all those things. I'm sure you can find us. Yeah, hopefully you'll find us.
Brilliant.
Please find us.
Make sure you find these guys. They were fantastic. Thank you for chatting to me, guys. You guys were fantastic. I was at the back desk. Oh no, it was great. We were talking about music and how it brings people together, and we talked about COVID actually in lockdown, and when you see people sweating close together, enjoying music together, it kind of makes you think differently about things, especially with the pandemic. Do you know what I mean?
It's nice, good to be doing it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, getting together, it seems like such a privilege now, doesn't it? A few years back we thought, oh my God, are we ever going to see anybody again? So yeah. That sounds a bit down, doesn't it, for the last thing to say? But no, everybody's here. We all made it, and let's party on.
Great way to end it. Thank you so much for chatting to me, guys. Thank you. Right, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. What's your name?
Carrie Ann.
Carrie Ann, and you've been at Loopfest today?
Yeah.
Where have you been today so far?
Where have we been?
Wheat Chief.
Which chief?
Yeah, the Wheat Chief and then the Bull Inn.
And the old post office.
The old post office.
Yeah.
Great venues usually for music, and you guys went to the wrong ball like you did.
Yeah. I mean, we found food, so it was okay, to be honest.
And that's the great thing about Shrewsbury. If there's a public house, there's usually great food, great drink, right?
We were the last people to be served, though, because they were finishing at 3:30, and we were there at 4, and luckily they served us.
That's really good. And what the music acts that you've seen today? Have you been impressed?
Yeah, they're quite good, actually. Yeah.
What's been your favourite so far?
I don't know.
The band we've seen in the Wheat Chief were quite good. And then we know Milk Bar have just been on here, and then Packet Racket are friends of ours, so yeah, looking forward.
Pocket Rocket, is that who's on next?
Packet Racket.
Packet Racket, are they on next, are they?
Yeah, they're on next. And then Smoking the Fish that are playing in the castle later, they're friends as well.
Well, I was meant to be legging it to the Salopian right now, but it's like literally, rain is. I will ruin all of my equipment, so I'm happy just to chill here for a bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, these are quite good. They're good for a dance, but there's not a lot of room.
There isn't a lot of room. And this is what I was trying to say earlier. Was when music can bring people in like sardines, and they're in an uncomfortable space, but they're happy at the same time. The power of music, right?
Definitely sweat some pounds in pubs today.
So what have you thought of Loopfest so far today?
It's been really good, yeah. I don't know.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, really good.
Brilliant, wicked. Well, thank you for chatting to me, guys. And I hope the weather clears up so we can get to venues. Well, wicked.
It's going to be very soggy in the castle if it doesn't clear up.
If I didn't have this equipment, I wouldn't care, in all honesty. But it is what it is. Right, brilliant. Thank you. So right now we're outside the Anchor. I gotta say, Derek and Nev were beautiful. They went to Dough and Oil. They're like, let's grab a slice of pizza and a beer before we go to our next venue. So we did. Dough and Oil, by the way, fantastic. I've got loads of equipment with me today, and the Bull's Head was quite a bit of a squeeze. And Dough and Oil isn't the biggest place, so I was kind of like, my equipment's sticking out everywhere, so they let me put it in their office and look after my stuff, which was really good. And the food is always excellent at Dough and Oil. So now we're at the Anchor in across from the Theatre 7, and we are here to listen to Vin and hopefully get an interview with him. Now look, I know there are 25 venues across this event that have been blasting out music and inviting people in by the hundreds as the day has gone by, but I knew it would be a case that I would only get a handful of venues in on the podcast. So, you know, put the Anchor in. Let's see what we can get from here.
There's a sorrow yours can't explain. I am so sorry I had to leave. I am John Cale, you are the reed. I am so sorry.
You're busy and I'm really sorry. So I'm Alex, I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, and we're covering Loop Festival today, which has been happening across 25 venues across town, and I thought I'd find out what you feel about it. I mean, how's it been for you guys today?
We've never done it before, we've never taken part. This is the first year, so we had no idea what to expect. We've been absolutely blown away by the support from everybody in Shrewsbury that have supported Loopfest. It's been brilliant atmosphere. Can't believe it. Really can't.
It's an amazing atmosphere. My son goes to Get Your Wiggle On, so he's at the theatre quite a bit. So we come in here for a quiet drink before we go to the theatre, right? That's usually what a lot of people do, but there's a very good atmosphere here today, right?
It's been like this since 1 o'clock. Since it started, the music started, it's slowly built up, and it's been absolutely crazy. The staff have been amazing, because I'm always in the kitchen. They have been absolutely brilliant. Everybody has been really, really brilliant. Lovely.
And I'm not trying to like sing Loop Fest's praises by any chance, but like, have you guys, do you reckon you've done it well today? Like beyond the bar?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's definitely made a difference, and what it's also done for us is it's brought people in who've never been in the Anchor before and who've been pleasantly surprised, which is always nice. So from a business point of view, today has helped us massively. And also, it's been so well organised, can't praise them enough, really can't. And I hope it's a success for them, I really do.
And I know that there's, with you guys being the other side of the loop, Frankwell, footfall's always an issue with Frankwell.
Yeah, because Frankwell's pretty much forgotten about by the council. It's like you're out of the loop, everyone's encouraged to be in the loop, but Frankwell is such an amazing night out. You've got In Good Hands, you've got the Olive Tree, the Wheat Sheaf, us, Alioli, lots of little restaurants. There's so much in Frankwell.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for chatting to me today. I know you're busy, all right? Thank you so much. Brilliant, thank you.
You have a lovely night.
And you. So there you go, guys. I mean, like, I've never seen this pub look like this. It's exactly like the Bull's Head. There's not much room to breathe. There's so many people in here listening to live music. And are you here for Loopfest today?
Yeah. Hello.
You all right? No swearing on, family.
Say Appleby.
You won't say Appleby. So where have you been with Loopfest today?
Where have we been? We went to the Bull Castle Gates. Then we went to go to Shrewsbury, but it's too busy.
I think I saw you in the Bull earlier. I remember the pink shirt. I was like, that's very loud, brave choice.
It was very loud. It was very loud, yeah, definitely.
So I remember you for that. But you enjoy that though?
Yeah, definitely, fantastic.
Where else? So you've been to the Bull's Head,
and then we went to the Wheat Sheaf.
Yeah, great venue.
Yeah, really good venue. It's like Camden, but in Shrewsbury, isn't it, the Wheat Sheaf? It is.
It's fantastic. And like, you don't see many events like this happen. Like, we see festivals in the Quarry, which are fantastic. I love them very much. The Westminster Showground, they do a great job. But
I went to Heel last weekend.
Great.
It was very good, but the bar situation wasn't good.
No?
The bar was like this big.
She's very small, yeah?
This big for like a lot of people. The bar situation at this like pub festival is so much better.
I mean, even if like the Anchor here is usually a sleepy pub, right? It's usually quite quiet, which is nice.
Yeah. It's a food pub, isn't it? It's a food pub.
but to see it like this, and even if you can't get a drink here, you can nip next door.
The whole town is like this. That is amazing to see. Like, every single pub is absolutely chocker. The Bull Butcher Row, we went to the Bull Butcher Row as well, didn't we? Like, every pub is like knee deep at the bar. That is very good to see.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. It's good atmosphere.
What have you been to see any bands that you like, particularly locally?
Do you know what? Nobody that I've seen thus far have I actually even heard of, but everybody's been great.
I mean, the band that was on when we were in the Bull's Head, I mentioned to them that they sounded massive. In this tiny little pub, they sounded so big and so powerful, and I had to give it to them for that.
The band from the Wheat Sheaf just was really, really good. Really good. I haven't even heard of the band name, but they were brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, I'm glad you're listening to new music and you're getting inspiration, and I hope you guys have a great evening, okay?
And you.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you.
Our ancestors came from the rolling sands and trails. No man owns the land he stands on. The seashores are for sale. Don't believe that heaven is places or beyond our pale. Just tear them down, those horseshoe fences, those head I can see.
My name is Vincent Whyte. Songwriter, I guess, yeah.
So I've been with Derek Willis and I've been with Nev Street today, and they were absolutely, we were up the top of town, and they're like, we gotta go. They drag me through town as quick as we can to get.
They're nice guys.
They really need to see you play today, and I can see why, man. You put your heart and soul into that.
Yeah, well, you got to. You can either, it's on or off, isn't it? Performing, and you got to be on. So.
I feel like I've got. I hope you don't mind. Little bits of snippets I've recorded on there.
Yeah, of course.
I won't share whole songs. That would be cruel. Yeah. But I've got to explain to the listeners, when you're playing, you're using every part of your hand to play that guitar. How long has that taken to master as a skill?
A long time. Pretty much the whole of the coronavirus lockdown. How that technique got perfected. I don't think I would have had the time otherwise. So. Yeah.
Very intricate lyrics as well. How do these come to you? How your writing process? What's that like?
It's very, very variable. Sometimes you can labour over lines and they take ages, or sometimes you can write a whole song very quickly. There's no formula really. It's I don't really believe in that whole divine kind of conduit, whatever. I think that's a load of rubbish, but
it just came to me.
You do. Yeah, no, it doesn't just come to you. You do have to sit down and do it. You have to take the time out, and
Especially when you're telling stories. I mean, the way it got explained to me today was there's a song about a Welsh murder and a guy that's very quiet, really, and then comes to life when he's behind a microphone. That's me. I grew up in Wales. I've seen what Wales is like, and I'm very shy unless I'm behind a microphone. So, what's it feel like for you when you are feeling like your normal self, and you get behind that microphone? What's that power like?
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I think especially I, like yourself, I'm a shy guy in my day-to-day life, and it's like a controlled sort of stepping into your worst nightmare in a very joyful and enjoyable way. I'd say performing, because especially when you're performing solo, all eyes are on you. And
do you just dive into the deep end, or do you take a few minutes to compose yourself?
Just you got to dive straight in. That's the only way you can do it. Yeah. It's the only way.
I agree. There's a lot of people like, are you nervous about this? Because I've gone on stage and I've done things in front of loads of people, and they're like, have you got to prepare? I'm like, no, just go, just do it. Yeah. Just don't stop me. I'm just going. If I'm I've got to get momentum going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think you got to hit the ground running straight away, and sometimes the gears might stick in the first couple of numbers. There might be a sacrificial pancake or two in your set list, but. Yeah, at least the intention has to be to be on from the start.
Amazing. The Anchor Inn as a great little venue. It seems like the perfect place for your music. The way I was chatting to an Italian chap in there I'd never met before. I was just talking about your music, and I was saying there's hi again.
Hello.
Have a great evening. And I was saying there's like a mixture between like the Irish whiskey in the jar type thing and like the Spanish songs of heroes and triumph.
Absolutely.
And this feels like a great venue for it.
I think it is. Yeah, it is. And like really, there are nautical themes in at least one song. So to be at a venue called the Anchor is, feels very appropriate somehow. Feels like things have aligned.
And I got to tell you, I know it's packed in here. Right through to, we just come from the top of town. Most venues that are, I think all the venues that are hosting Loopfest today are just jam-packed of people enjoying music.
It's great. It's a really great thing, and kudos to Jamie, who has pretty much been his brainchild. Him on his own, who has done all of this. So yeah, he's a good guy.
And what I love about Jamie is he was putting up a gazebo last time I was trying to talk to him, and even though he was putting up a gazebo at the time, he was very willing to stop and have a conversation with me. I was like, no, carry on doing your thing, man. Like, he's so giving, even though he does come across as a bit of the chaos that comes with Jamie. He's very focused in what he's doing as well. It's nice to see.
Yeah, exactly. I think you've summed up Jamie there, that he.
Like a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes people like that are the essential movers in creating things like this, and you don't necessarily want someone who's overly rational, because otherwise it wouldn't happen. They'd overthink it, and they'd come to hurdles and wouldn't be able to get over them.
Well, I don't want to keep you. I know there's lots of people probably trying to speak to you because you've just finished your set. But thank you so much for coming to speak to me. Where can people find you?
So just all my handles are Vincent Whyte Music.
I think I follow you on Instagram, I'm sure.
Probably. Yeah, so just pretty much all the platforms there. I don't know if there's another Vincent Whyte with a Y, so just Google it. And there's an album on Spotify, and I'm in the process. One's just been finished, which will be released hopefully this summer. So keep an eye open.
Singing a song with 5 different languages is just like, if that isn't a selling point, I don't know what is.
No, I agree.
Are you fluent in those languages, or does it take a bit of time to learn them?
No, I'm not fluent in any language other than English, but I have friends who speak different languages who help me out with that, so I'm very fortunate in that regard.
Well, brilliant. Well, I hope you have a great evening, and thank you so much for chatting to me.
Cheers, thank you. Appreciate it.
Neither of us live where we'd call home. While you're teaching rich kids how to slide down mountains, I'll be in a flat wasteland alone.
I think it's only right that that we finish this off with, I think you guys have saved me today. I honestly, because I saw you guys and I thought, I think I'll bit off more than I can chew come that here myself today, and I think you very much saw that in the bull's head.
Well, yes. I think it's like if you go to any festival, you have to be kind of selective about the bands and you want to go and see, especially as there's, for this one, 125 bands in 25 venues. It's like, man, it's a head mash. You know what I mean?
We went for some food, and I said to Neville, I was like, I did say I was going to go to like all the venues and do something, and he was like, there's not enough time in the day.
No. And here we are now at like 25 to 7. I think it finishes at sort of like 11 o'clock midnight maybe, and I've seen 2.5, 3 bands out of 125. It's madness,
I've been speaking to punters. I've been speaking to the venue, the owner here at the Anchor, the manager, and she's saying she's never seen anything like it. Like, so this is the first time doing it. So it's doing its job.
Absolutely it is. And I hope that next year they maybe consider doing it over 2 days, so people can
space themselves
out and see some more. And it means you bring so many people into the town, not only Saturday but Sunday as well.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed it. I really have.
It's good. But it's not quite over yet, because there are some more bands coming up later on. But
there is.
As far as we're concerned, as far as you're concerned, you need to sign off, mate. You've had a busy day.
I've had a busy day. I'd love to stay till 11 o'clock. Those days, they're not quite over yet, but I promised my kid that we'd have an evening together. But I've really enjoyed it, and what I've enjoyed about it is I haven't felt compelled to sort of push myself, and I think it's because I bumped into you guys. Genuinely,
nice one.
I think I was on my way to the Salopian. I was like, no, Salopian, and you're like, no, slow down, I was going to get a bite to eat. And that was nice.
It's cool, man. It's cool hanging out. It's nice to see you all.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And what's funny is this podcast is going to go out after the one we record tomorrow. So we're talking to ourselves in the future now.
We are, but I have a TARDIS at home. So
you do? Fantastic. I'll have to come.
And I've got a hot tub.
You've got a hot tub in your TARDIS?
Yeah, no, I've got a hot tub in the garden.
Oh, really?
And I've got an energy drink which you can put into it. Have you seen the film Hot Tub Time Machine? Great film, man.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, and thank you to Derek as well and the family. Honestly, you guys have been fantastic.
Safe travels.
Thank you very much.
Right, so we've got a couple of post-event interviews for you guys now. I strangely, just as I was waiting to speak to Jimmy, our organizer, Alex from Chasing August dropped me a message and asked if I would review their new song Daisy Chains, which at this point I've listened to a million times. It's amazing, but that's for another show. And I said yes, I would love to review your music if we could organise a very quick impromptu interview about Loopfest and how it went for you guys. So Alex very quickly organised a phone call with Jack Norcup from Chasing August. So let's hear what he has to say about Loopfest.
Hello?
Jack?
It's
Alex from The Biscuit. You're right, you are live on Channel 4. Please do not swear.
Amazing. Love it.
I am so sorry I didn't get to see you guys at Loopfest.
That's all right.
Huge event though, with like over 120 artists. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
I haven't, to be fair. I mean, especially all across Shrewsbury. I mean, we say this last year. I feel like it was bigger than last year's Loopfest.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed huge this year as well. But no, it was really good. It's great. I love seeing it.
I know you did it last year, and this year they had the addition of the Castle, which is great, which is where you guys played, which I think of all the venues. I mean, all the venues did an amazing job anyway, but I think the Castle has got like that special little, it's that little bit of extra special, isn't it? The Castle, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is the thing. Like, it was just really nice. I mean, the weather, sadly, for us wasn't nice at the time. It did rain, but there was just such a nice atmosphere in the castle. And I think, like you say, because it just added that little bit of like extra specialness to the whole setting. And it was just a really nice set to play.
Well, I said I've just got off the phone to Jimmy now. He's catching a breather. He's catching a breather after all. I mean,
I can imagine.
It feels like he's run a marathon, I imagine. But I said to him on the preview interview with the Biscuit was like, I'll go to every single venue and I'll get something from every single venue. And I was determined to go and just get a little bit of audio from every single thing, but it was so difficult. We went to 3. We made it to 3 venues because, like, you walk into the Bull's Head and it was so crammed in there, and every single venue was like that. It does such a great thing for the local economy, for musicians, and for people that enjoy music as well. Something like Loopfest. So I thought it was really good. So with the rain happening. What does that do for you guys as musicians when you see it's raining? Does it add something to your set when you say, even if it's raining, people are still out there jamming to your tunes?
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, the last 2 times we've played in Shrewsbury, so we did Food Festival and then we did Loopfest, and it was like the heavens opened and it just absolutely... people were just, like you say, dancing in the rain and enjoying it. And, you've sort of, I suppose there's 2 sides to it really, where one, you're kind of like, oh no, it's raining. Is anyone going to want to come out to see us? Especially being an unsigned band, you always have that worry of like, oh my God, you really hope that you can capture people's attention enough that they go, these guys are great and I want to stick around and watch them regardless of the weather. And then you've also got that, like, this is cool, it feels rock and roll, we're playing and people are loving it and dancing in the rain. And then you think, I really hope I don't get electrocuted or any of that gets through it by water. So there's also an element of like, I feel like a rock star. I really hope I don't die, but it'd be cool to be like died on stage.
I remember I was like, I really wanted to. I took a tripod and I worked out I can fit one of my microphones onto a tripod. I wanted to just stand there with microphones because you know how I usually do things. I take the handheld microphone and I boff, walk around and interview people. I really wanted to just stand there and chat with people, so I set up this tripod. I set up all the wires and the thing, and then the heavens started opening, and I had to throw my stuff underneath the stage because it was going to get ruined otherwise. But nonetheless, I've listened back to some of these the interviews that I got from that day, and they're good still. Hopefully next year with it being. I think hopefully the weather will be better for you guys.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And Chasing August, what have you guys been up to? You said you did the food festival as well. Have you been hard at it with the gigging and stuff? You've been writing. What's going on?
Yeah, so we've been obviously gigging. You know, we continue to gig as much as we can. Really, we've been doing some shows over in Birmingham. Been playing with bands like Anchor and Modern Colour and stuff while they've been touring. So they've been some really cool shows. But we've quietened down a little bit on the show front purely because we've been spending time in the studio working on a new record and kind of getting excited and getting ready for obviously bringing out new music. And I think it's one of them, you know, we're at the point where we're like, actually, we don't want to just be dropping singles. We want it to be part of something a bit bigger, something that people could kind of get on board with and tie into. And again, just looking at our sound and thinking about the energy that we bring on stage and the live performance. We have been really conscious about how do we capture some of that energy on a record. So we've been spending lots of time just crafting some tunes that personally I think are some of the best stuff we've ever written. And I think because we've very much been rehearsing them, we've been testing them in a practice room and all that type of stuff. And then how do we do it live? And then taking that to the recording studio to go, yeah, actually, these are some big tunes. There's some dirty heaviness in there and lots of catchy, you know, sing-along parts. So I'm so excited for people to hear the newer stuff. I think it's going to be good.
I gotta say, my son Timmy pretty much knows all the words to Call the Cavalry now. It's one of our car time tunes, you know, and it's all about that energy with you guys. And I feel like it's when you look at local bands, and I used Vincent Whyte a couple of times as an example on this particular podcast. You don't realize how special local bands are until you get in amongst it. I feel, you know, and meeting you guys, hearing your music, and also seeing like the fellow, you've got a nice group of fans that follow you around, which was really nice. I met a guy that my wife works with that was like so happy to be seeing you guys because he's such a big fan of you guys. And it's really nice to see because, you know, you go about your day and you listen to your Taylor Swifts and your Selena Gomez's, whatever it is, I don't know, whatever you guys listen to, until you sort of zoom into the local musicians around you, you realize there's actually extraordinarily talented musicians around you. And I feel like if you can, you know, exchange positive energy through music, I feel like you're really talented. So you guys have got... Honestly, if you listen to this, guys, check out Chasing August. Your older stuff is great, and I'm sure the new stuff is going to be just as good.
Oh, thank you, mate. It really means a lot. And it's one of them, like, I mean, I don't know how to take compliments. I'm not going to lie.
I'm the same. Sorry. I if someone goes, "Oh, the podcast is amazing, Alex," I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." Yeah.
But that's it. And we've had, we've had fans reach out, and it's such a weird thing saying fans because, you know, you have certain people who come with you who are like friends and family and you always know and stuff like that. And then when you get genuine people that go like, I've listened to music and I've traveled and I've bought the CD or whatever it is that they've done, and you think this is nuts because you're like, you know, you could bump into me in Asda Like I'm just a normal guy who goes to work, but the fact that our music has resonated with you in such a way, like you say, that you've got into it, you've got involved, it means everything to us. We kind of get that. You know, after Loopfest, for example, some people were coming up because we did the songs acoustically. And one chap even said to me, he was like, I loved the acoustic version because it gave such a different element to your songs. And I thought the fact that you know our songs well enough to appreciate the difference of the acoustic version, like, means so much, because that is something say that you do with these bigger artists that you love, where you're like, oh my God, you know, Biffy Clyro did an acoustic album, this is amazing. But someone did that with us and was like, that's great, it resonated with me, and it means, all the compliments mean so much to us. We all just get a bit like coy and shy and like, oh, thank you.
I feel you on that one. But you know, you're working hard in the studio, and I think it's a good indicator that you realize you want to make an EP rather than a single, because that means you've got ambition again. You know you want to make something big, and that's really exciting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I say, we just at that point where, for us as well as people coming to see us, it's always great going, this is our new single, but with the new record, it's kind of, you know, it's going to fill up pretty much the majority of the set, and then you throw in some of the more popular ones, and you know, you'll always throw in Call the Cavalry probably because it's such a banger. We know people love it, so
yes,
being able to move into a new era and kind of go, yeah, this is some newer stuff that I think will really get the attention of people and go, yeah, these guys, like, I want to go and watch this because it's an experience.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to me today about Loopfest and stuff, and what you're doing as well is fantastic. Really, really, really excited for the new stuff. And yeah, Loopfest, what a great experience. Are you going to go back to do the next one next year?
Yeah, fingers crossed if we're available. It's one of them, you know, we're always really appreciative of the gigs, and Jimmy, you know, does a lot to get us gigs with like Albert Shed and stuff, so we always do what we can to support. And if our diary's free, then yeah, absolutely, we'll be up for going again.
Brilliant, cool. Well, Jack, I did say I was just chatting to Alex. Alex has set the this call up today. I did say I'd love to get you guys genuinely around a microphone, not on Zoom, not on anything else. Just let's get a couple of beers in, get set up some microphones, and we'll have a good hour-long chat, catch up with you guys. That'd be really good. What do you say?
Oh, that'd be amazing, mate. Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
Good to wag. Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex.
Well, great. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers, Jack.
Take care, Alex.
Bye. Bye. And of course, it wouldn't be right if we didn't speak to the organizer. So I also gave Jimmy Kebab a call. So let's see what he had to say about Loopfest after the fact. Right then. So we're going to try and give Jimmy Kebab a call. Just to check in with him after the event. I want to know how it all went. I couldn't speak to Jimmy during the event because do you know what, he would have given me his time, to be fair, but he was putting up a gazebo thing when I found him. So we're gonna find Jimmy now. Let's give him a call. Let's see where he's at. It's ringing. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you all right, mate?
Hello. How are you? Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. The last thing I did on a phone sounded really crap. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know how bad it's going to sound, but...
You sound fantastic, my friend. I thought I would give because obviously I couldn't speak to you at Loopfest. I saw you, and I think you would have given me your time. You definitely would have given me your time, but you were trying to put up a marquee or gazebo or something as I was speaking to you. How was Loopfest during the event for you?
Oh, Loopfest, yeah, it was incredible. I mean, we're so lucky to have such a great team of people who managed to get all of the equipment out there early on, and how it all set up, have all the brilliant bands who are really supportive of Loopfest perform, and and the general public who all came out in force. I mean, The number of people who came out was ridiculous, and we did have some bad weather, but actually, town was buzzing. The guys at the train station reported in that they had over 100% increase in gate admissions, so that's pretty amazing results, really.
I think what the weather did is kind of pushed everybody into the pubs, which was great. I mean, I spoke to the landlady from the Anchor. I had an interview with her, which you'll have to listen back to because it's really sweet, actually, because she was like, nope, I wasn't involved with it last year, but I decided to get involved with it this year, and I've never seen business like it. That's her exact words. Well,
oh, she was amazing, because what happened is we were originally going to have that stage in Nerdy, and obviously all the sad things happened with Nerdy, which we were kind of keen to not pull away from that, but ultimately they said it's best that you sort of find a new home. So I live close to the Anchor, and I went, said, oh, do you mind if we put a stage here? If you don't do very well, it's totally fine. You don't have to give us any money, because each venue supports us with a bit of money. And if you actually give us more money than we asked for in the first place, so yeah, it was really good. I mean, she was very supportive, and that's all the venue owners. We had Cromwell's. That was the first time we had them guys, and they're really keen. Nick says, and obviously we had the Castle as well, which was pretty big change. Yeah. Against the previous backdrop. And, this is the thing is, we've increased the capacity by, I'm pretty sure the count was something like an increase of 50% of the venues. So we actually packed out more venues than we did for longer than we did in 2022. So,
well, I think it was phenomenal. I mean, there were I think the vibe I got when I was in the King's Head, was that it was like super packed. It was like sardines, but everyone was happy to be there. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was a really good vibe in there. I mean, I was jousting people with my tripod. I turned to this woman, and I said to her, oh, sorry, didn't mean to catch you. I've got a tripod on me, and she just looked at me over her glasses, and I was kind of like, I didn't mean. It was just everybody was in a good vibe, and that's what I got from that. I bumped into to Derek Willis and to Nev Street, who are great advocates for all things moving and dancing in Shrewsbury. They're great people, and they had a whale of a time too. They almost became my sort of as you'll listen back on this podcast, they became my kind of co-hosts throughout the whole thing. It was quite nice.
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
What's the vibe from the people from you? What did you feel?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I was everywhere. I was running across town, so I never really spent much time in one venue. But what I did see was just lots of people having a great time. It was like every venue was completely filled, and everyone was having a great time. There was different types of music for everybody. We all just, I think everyone was just really happy to be there and be supporting something. They know, it's becoming a thing, and they know that they're there on the ground floor and they're seeing all these incredible acts. And the great thing about this is that something like 85% of them acts were original acts. So the sort of, not that I've got anything against cover bands, I totally love it, but it's nice to support these people who probably wouldn't often that many, the exposure that you get from this. Not that we're about exposure either. We're about supporting acts. And developing them all. And, the cover bands are great as well. We love the cover bands. They're awesome, and they add a different flavour. And the acoustic performers add another flavour on top of that. What we need is more jazz. We need more opera. We need more big brass bands playing through the town square. All this kind of synthesizers.
This is what I was saying to Nev and to Derek. Well, I'm surprised because they got the drama company. I'm surprised there isn't something like that running through the town. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, they were actually going to do something with that drama group, but I think it just turned out to be bad timing.
I think they mentioned it was something that was happening at the same time as what they were doing, someone else they were doing. I don't know. It was like
it's hard, isn't it? I mean, people when you've got that many events happening, it was it was obvious that we were going to have some people pull out. It was obvious that we were going to have some sort of trauma for example, the rain, because we had a really great year the previous year.
It wasn't just rain.
balance.
It was like biblical rain. I've never seen rain like it. we were stuck in the pub, and we were literally about to go, and I was like, yeah, we're waiting here for a few minutes. My equipment would have died. Did you have any casualties as far as equipment's concerned because of the weather?
No, we didn't. Well, actually, it wasn't because of the weather, but the castle stage, they had the monitors go down, and apparently that piece of kit's worth $7,000 or something. But I think it's insured, so I think it's just wear and tear more than anything else. Apart from that, the main things were really, we just haven't got enough money in the pot really to cover things like spare things. So I spent most of my day running through torrential rain to run to my house because there was a missing hi-hat stand or a snare stand running from the Bull's Head, which is the train station, all the way down to Frankwell.
That's at the King's Head. That's what I meant. There's a Bull's Head, by the way.
Bull's Head, yeah. So it's Bull's Head all the way to Frankwell, and then back again. And as soon as I got there, someone said, "Oh, we need something in Frankwell." So, and it's not like there was a cache. It was just literally bits of things that I had in my house that I was like, "Oh, I've got one of them weird things." So then it was always me just running backwards and forwards. Because I'm the only person with the keys, plus my partner Jules, who's doing the video stuff. So.
Yeah, and that's I want to give a shout out to the guys that were doing the audio visual stuff as well. He had a great team that spanned across the whole town. Amazing. And they were all super friendly as well. I was just walking up to people in Loopfest t-shirts going, "Are you in the group?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I'm Alex. And then we start chatting, and everybody's kind of like, "Oh, this is a great place to sit here, and this is a great place. I'm going to get shot to this." And everybody was really super helpful, and that was a really nice experience, I think.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have the AV guys are awesome, and also the general volunteers who are involved. We're a small group. I mean, we're tiny, but we're looking to ask anyone who wants to get involved with us. But mainly, on the sort of operational or the role sort of thing, the video and the camera stuff, I think it's quite tight now, and we could expand that. But ultimately, we're desperate for these operational people who may be studying or, event management or older folk who have got the experience in management and just want to have a dabble and support where they can.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, so you saying that does that mean that there is going to be a Loopfest next year? I mean, what's the vibe on that?
Oh, my God. Do you want an exclusive? I'll give you an exclusive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wasn't... Yeah, okay, go on.
So we've actually got a date, and when's this due to come out? This
is going to go out on Monday. So
that's good. All right, so keep this to yourself till Monday then. So yeah, the plan is it's going to be on the bank holiday weekend of May, which would be the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th of May, and we are also going to do it in the theme of Drone Wars or something like this, and it's also going to fall on Star Wars Day, so it's going to be robot themed.
So not only are you doing it every 3 days, have you got like the coolest theme, but it also falls on Star Wars Day as well. This could be one of the biggest. I immediately want to cry with joy.
Do you want to hear about the giant techno spider? That's what I'm all about.
A techno spider?
The giant techno spider, because my vision is to have this giant. I mean, have you ever seen this Arcadia? I mean, it's this thing that they have in Glastonbury and other places. But they're this like a DJ booth that's this crazy, sort of crazy spiders type shape thing, and it blows fire up.
War of the Worlds type thing.
Oh yeah. It's called Arcadia. It's amazing. But I mean, the idea really is just you've got a crazy mechanical robot thing that sits there in the square and doesn't do anything until everyone's used the app to go around town collecting up power to then power it up. And then when it's got enough power, it comes on and then it starts playing tunes.
That sounds... Do you know what, right? I was going to say that sounds absolutely bonkers, but it's you, so it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I managed to pull all this together pretty much in my spare time over the past 3 months. So if I could do that, and now I've got a team and I've got all the plans, it really is. And the app should have came out. It was really sad that we didn't get to that point because it was it's sort of pinnacle of how we communicate with people in the future. But we'll be that'll be coming out soon, and it's going to be amazing because when we do really that it'll allow people to play the town. We'll be able to help people move around the town, so people don't just stick in one place. The idea of this powering up this techno spider, it's like a mission. People are like, the kids are going to love it.
And I imagine with it being over 3 days next time, it's going to be a lot easier to manage the scale of it. Or does that mean you're going like 3 times bigger?
Well, there's also going to be some other things going on. So the first thing is, this year we learned that we can stash a lot of the equipment, whereas the previous years, or last year, sorry, we pulled everything out of the venues at the last minute. So, but whereas this means we understand our partnerships now with these organisations, and they all behind it, because obviously they've had bumper days. Yeah. Pretty much all of them had like the best sales ever that I've spoke to anyway. So there's a lot of people who've had these great days. They're happy to support us by putting stuff in, which means then we've got a better infrastructure as a whole. This leads us then to ask the question of what else we're going to do, So licensing. Before Loopfest started, we talked about doing stuff in the streets, and we find out the town's got their own license for the streets, which means you can have more than 500 people on one street at one time. That's important, because if you had a performer and you had a lot of people watching that performer, and suddenly there's over 500 people, you have to tell the performer to stop. Now, one of the big things about Loopfest was that we were trying to put an outside stage to ensure that we had a sort of a pressure relief valve, so when all the venues got full, there was somewhere for people to go. An outside space was dead important. So we're going to license the streets. I think that's what's going to happen. So as long as we satisfy Mike Cox's of the town council's requirements, we'll do that. We'll also then do something in the square, because we've got the square at the same time, and also then the castle. And the castle will be a range of things, really. But one of the things is we're going to have some special ticketed events where on the Friday and the Sunday, where it's if you got the wristband to get in, you can get in there, and it's just a matter of, if you're lucky enough to queue, there'll be some VIP passes that you can
a bit like with Comic-Con. Like with Comic-Con, sometimes you get the extra.
Yeah, you pay to. Yeah, it's like that. So, but I think across the board, we can't afford to do this as a free thing. And I'm having meetings with the venues, but every venue suggested the same. They can see that basically I spent 5 months of my time so far and haven't received a penny. If not, I've just managed to get my the money that I've put into it back out. So I it's time to try and make it viable, so we're not so reliant on luck.
Well, you've got the support of the biscuit. That goes without saying. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I got to say, a huge apology to. I was like, I'm going to go to every single venue, and we're going to do a thing at every single thing. I went to 3 venues. It was so hard, it was really hard underfoot. Like, it was really hard to move around. And
it's impossible, isn't it?
It really is. So over 3 days, I think we can definitely put some really cool content together. And also to some of the artists I couldn't see. There were my friends Chasing August. I'm going to speak to Jack about this in a second. Actually, he said he's happy to chat with me on the phone. So I'll find out about his experience as well. Trademark Blood as well. Was he there? Was Trademark there?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, he was there. Right. He was in the Kings, yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing his face. I was chatting to him yesterday as well about the awards. I would love to have seen him. There are so many bands there. I mean, like over 120 acts in one day. It's impossible.
There's so many. There was so many that people were saying, "Oh, well, it's really amazing because what's happening? There's like 60 plus acts, and they're moving, they're playing their gig and then playing a gig elsewhere." And I was like, "No, it's not like that. It's actually just like 120." Plus acts all individually playing a 40-minute set, and then that's it. And some people, filled in gaps where there was problems, but it's just a mad number. And we've got CDs and T-shirts still for sale, and we're doing a crowdfunder type thing. Do you want these CDs? Oh, I need to get you a CD and a T-shirt if you haven't got one.
Yes, yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be cool to have a CD and a T-shirt. That'd be really good.
Yeah, man.
But, listen, congratulations on knocking it out of the park. I know it was difficult with the weather, and logistically, it's going to be a ball buster regardless of what it is because of the scale of the event. But what you're doing for local musicians and these talents that need the venues and they need the spots to go out there and do their thing. Thank you for giving them a license to go out there and do that, because
that's all good.
It's being in the Anchor and seeing like the love. It was like puppy dog eyes. Everybody that was watching Vincent Whyte play, he is he's adored by these local people. And you're thinking, I'd never heard, respectfully, I'd never heard of Vin's music before, but everybody that was in that pub was absolutely in love with him, and there were people that come from all walks of life, everywhere, just to come and watch him play. So that's what you give to people. That's what you give to people.
Happy days.
Right,
well, thank you very much.
I'm gonna let you get back to your day, and thank you so much for chatting to me. And
no, thank you, man. Thanks for being involved. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Brilliant. Well, have a great day, and I'll catch you later, my man.
All right, take care, man. Bye bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, cut him off a little bit there. What a great guy. That was. I mean, I'm truthful when I say that events like this. I love events that happen in the Quarry. I love events that happen in West Mids Showground. I think things like this, what they do is to give people something to strive towards, and that's whether you've bought a ticket and you're looking forward to go and see an event, or whether you're an artist and you're looking forward to playing in front of a crowd. Without events like this, these opportunities wouldn't happen. So I'm really, really proud of what happened with Loopfest, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Well, this is a very complicated podcast to make. It was over a dozen little bits of audio that had to be neatly sewn together in a neat little package for you guys to enjoy. So I hope you enjoy what I did with the chaos that was the audio collection of Loopfest. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed putting this together, as complicated as it was. I love these kind of things. It's very different to when you sit face to face with someone and you record a long podcast. That bit of audio is just there. It just exists. Whereas this is a collection of little things that need to be put together. So I hope you enjoyed it. If this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, why not give us a follow? We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Threads, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on TikTok. Just look for the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. And I appreciate Jimmy and all the organisers. To David Gregg as well. I know he's a huge influence on Loopfest and the music that's brought in, and I really do appreciate being a part of this, and I'll definitely be about for next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Really appreciate every single one of you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.